Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming to this session. This presentation will generally give you an insight on a literature review-based study regarding a comparison between the use of serious game and traditional tools in the construction, health, and safety training area. So I think you might have a question in your mind right now saying, what is serious game? Don't worry, just keep this in mind. I will give you a detailed explanation in the second chapter of this presentation. So before actually starting, I want to take this huge opportunity to thank my supervisor, Dr. Vicente Gonzalez, who is sitting in the audience right now, for your great support and help on this paper. I couldn't achieve this without you. So now let's get started. Thank you. We have ditched some global statistics trying to understand the current health and safety situation in the construction industry. As you can see from the screen, in 2016, the construction industry has ranked both respectively the first largest and second largest among all industries, giving rise to workplace fatalities in the United Kingdom and New Zealand. We have got the conclusion that the current health and safety situation has become a very, very big issue nowadays. So as advised by Gore in 2016, 3 different methods has been introduced to cope with this serious issue. Namely safety training, safety planning, and site monitoring. The first 2 categories belong to the pre-construction phase, and obviously site monitoring belongs to parallel construction phase. And for my PhD study, I mainly focus on the improvement of safety training. So I will extend the knowledge flow from safety training. In the past, the health and safety training in the construction industry was very traditionally based, using tools such as video lecture and toolbox talks and so on. In recent years, the development in the innovation in new technologies such as serious game has boosted and also elevated the quality of health and safety training. So, what is serious game? Serious game is a specific type of video game equipped with the educational nature to address real-life issues and also deliver information and necessary knowledge to its end users. As you can see from the right side of the screen, there is a very classic theory called a 3-word construct to define and also demonstrate what a serious game is. Namely, word of reality, word of meaning, and word of play. Word of reality mainly talks about the realism and capability of the virtual game environment to mimic and also represent the real world situation and also real life environments. The word of meaning mainly talks about the educational value of a serious game, which is the knowledge and the information for developers to transfer to each users to consider during the development process. Word of play mainly talks about the entertainment part of a serious game, because serious game, as you can see from the definition, a serious game is serious, so it needs to be entertaining and engaging to attract end users to use it again and again. We have identified the gap for this paper, saying that there has not yet been any comprehensive review study existing to compare and suggest which one is more outstanding between traditional tools and serious game regarding construction health and safety training. So we aim to compare the strengths and weaknesses of traditional tools and serious game for construction health and safety training. This aim takes place through the following research objectives. The first one is to search and review existing literature on safety training utilizing traditional tools and serious game in the construction industry. And the second objective is to discuss strengths and weaknesses of the remarkable features between traditional tools and serious game, and also draw the conclusion on which one may be superior for future researchers to follow with. The methodology we use in this study, is systematic review. Systematic review is a systematic and also comprehensive type of review method. Using this method, you won't be able to miss any important information relevant to your study. So to conduct systematic review, there were 6 steps we have taken. We have appended keywords for both traditional tools and serious game to search and identify the articles for this review. After the initial search round, we have identified 569 articles for traditional tools and 132 articles for serious game. And then we have conducted 2 rounds of filtering. The first one is pre-screening by title and abstract. The second one is filtering by full text. After these 2 rounds of filtering, we have finally retrieved 16 articles for traditional tool-based studies and 20 articles for serious game-based study. So finally, we have carefully read all these studies, read all these articles by giving intensive reading to retrieve the information relevant to the study. So now we have our systematic review findings. To report the findings more clearly, we decided to report the findings in 2 different aspects. The first one is technical aspect comparison, and the second one is effectiveness aspect comparison. Based on the review findings, we have finally identified 7 very critical aspects to compare the use of serious game and traditional tools in the construction health and safety training area. Due to time limit, I will only, please allow me to only take 1 to 2 aspects to discuss in this session. Representing the actual workplace situations, in a Hong Kong-based case, interview workers claim that the safety meetings and toolbox talks were not very helpful because working on real construction site was not how they were trained with those methods. In fact, on-site operations of frontline workers appear to be accompanied by various subjects such as disorders, housekeeping situations, and vehicle and chaotic vehicles system. So in 2012, we indicates the ability of serious game in representing unsafe conditions, seeing that the virtual game environment contains all available details, including both temporary and permanent structures, building services, construction material storage waste, and heavy construction equipment. The second one, text-free graphical interfaces. Construction workers tend to have lower educational backgrounds compared to workers in other industries. Having low proficiency and low literacy in both English and their first language can lead to knowledge transfer issues. In literature, traditional tools are shown to be heavily text-based, while in a serious game-based study in construction, one participant who uses English as the second language claimed that his learning was very fluent and helpful due to that there was really less text used in the game learning method. Interestingly, based on the review findings, we found that serious game is superior compared to traditional tools in all these 7 aspects. So, regarding the effectiveness aspect comparison, we found the outcome is a little bit confusing because we couldn't retrieve any reliable evidence suggesting the effectiveness of traditional tools and serious game in terms of knowledge transfer and injury reduction. This strong evidence is still lacking. We think that there are 2 potential reasons for this outcome. The first one is that traditional tools-based and serious game-based study in the previous are all very qualitative-based rather than quantitative-based. And the second reason is that there is still a lack of rigorous assessment. We have got our conclusion for this study. Serious game research is a promising area to construction health and safety training. Based on the findings and deeper investigation on the serious game effectiveness is still required to unfold the real potential of serious game. So thank you so much for being interested in this study, and we now have some time to take your questions.